Good morning, students. Welcome to online platform of Shri Academy. In the previous video, we were discussing the chapter named The First Pup. Let's continue with the story. Okay, so all of you open your book and see into your book. I'm going to start from here. One afternoon, Meena's mother-in-law to be was invited to a tea. That means mother-in-law to be. That means she was not Meena's mother-in-law. In future, she was going to get married to his son, and then she will be his mother-in-law. So, as usual, my mother had gone all out with elaborate preparations. There were dainty eggs and cucumber sandwich in a decorative garnish, or a grated cabbage and carrots. So she was, as the guests were invited on the tea, Meena's mother prepared lots of dishes, and there was cake, probably dark devil's food cake, and a magnificent bowl of rasmalai, all loaded up and decked up in a white lace tea trolley, squatted resplendently in the dining room, glittering with china and silver, ready to be rolled out in style. And now, Meena's mother prepared a dainty dishes, and she decorated the table, that means the trolley, very in a very efficient manner. That means she put it over the cake on the table, and the magnificent bowl of rasmalai, that means the bowl of rasmalai was filled and set with a bright and beautiful appearance. All of the things that were decorated on the tea table was looking very beautiful. And where this trolley was placed in the dining room, glittering. As usual, tea would be served in veranda where the guests were being entertained, and the guests were sitting in the veranda, and tea was to be offered to the guest in veranda. Excusing herself, my mother went to the dining room to make sure everything was perfect and to wheel out the trolley. And while after the preparations, after the decorations, her mother was sitting with the guests and she decided to go and check out the trolley. She excused herself from the guests and she went to the dining room. So when she went to the dining room, what does she? But horror of horrors, what was that familiar and very suspicious headless brown shape right next to the trolley? And what were those slobbering noise emanating from underneath the tablecloth draped over it? And now what her mother sees here, you can see what was the suspicious headless brown shape, right? That means the dog, the named Bambi, was onto the table. He spoiled all the preparations he was eating. Slobbering is a kind of sound produced by dogs while eating, and emanating means, here you can see, coming out. So the dog was coming out from the table, underneath the tablecloth draped over it, and the trolley was draped with the tablecloth. So what mother sees, she saw that something brown colored known thing is coming out from the tablecloth. And who was that? That was Bambi. Bad dog, naughty girl, get your face out there at once. Ranjit, Mala, get your wretched dog out of here. Now what happens? Mother cried. Bambi, bad dog. That means very bad dog. As he spoiled all the preparations, so she scolded the dog like Bambi, bad dog, naughty girl, get your face out of there. And she asked the dog to get her face out of the cloth. At once, Ranjit, Mala, get your rich dog out of here. Now, mother asked the Ranjit and Mala to take their dog away from there. It was too late. A dripping black muzzle covered with white rasmalai emerged from the under the cloth, and Bambi looked up, guiltily smacking her lips. Now, what is the muzzle? Muzzle is the part of the face including mouth and nose. So when mother cried, Bambi took out his face, and his face was means totally covered with the rasmalai, and he came out of the cloth. Bambi looked guilty. He was looking guilty. He was looking guiltily towards mother, smacking her lips. That means he was smacking her lips. We gazed in horror and wrecked. The rasmalai was quite a mess. और सारे लोग जो है बहुत ही अजीब तरीके से डर से उसको देखते हैं और देखते हैं कि सारी रसमलाई जो है वो मेस, दैट मीन्स ख़राब हो चुकी है. डॉग ने क्या किया, मदर ने सारी डिशेस जो है वो प्रिपेयर की, फिर उनको ट्रॉली पे अच्छे से डेकोरेट करके रखा, अच्छे से बर्तनों में जो कि ग्लिटरिंग थे, बहुत ही शाइनी थे, क्लीन थे, उसमें सारी कुछ चीज़ों को बहुत अच्छे से ड्रेसअप किया, सबको अच्छे से सेट करके डाइनिंग रूम में रखा. और टी जो थी वो वरांदा में सारे जो गेस्ट थे उनको एंटरटेन किया जा रहा था, दैट मीन्स वहाँ पे बैठ के बातें हो रही थी, और जो टी थी वो वरांदा में ही सर्व की जानी थी. और जब मदर वहाँ से उठ कर के आती हैं मीना की और आकर के देखती हैं तो क्या देखती हैं कि कुछ ब्राउन सी चीज़ है जो कि टेबल क्लॉथ के अंदर से आ रही है और वो नून लग रही है. तो वो जब उसको ध्यान से देखती हैं तो वो क्या देखती हैं कि वो बाम्बी है, दैट मीन्स डॉग है, और वो सारी चीज़ों को स्पॉइल कर चुकी है, दैट मीन्स सबको ख़राब कर दिया, और उसने अपना मुंह खाने में डाल दिया था, रसमलाई में डाल दिया था, और अपने फेस को बहुत ही जब बाहर निकालती तो बहुत ही गिल्टीली वे में देखती है, बहुत गिल्टी फील करके डॉग जो है वो मदर को देख रहा होता है. और मदर क्राई करती है, अपने बच्चों की आवाज़ को, अपने बच्चों के नाम को बुलाती हैं और कहते हैं कि इसे यहाँ से ले करके जाओ. और क्योंकि वो बहुत लेट हो चुका था, उसने तब तक अपना मुंह उसमें डाल दिया था रसमलाई में और सब कुछ ख़राब कर दिया था. बट लकीली बाम्बी हैड नॉट गॉट टू वर्क ऑन द केक एंड सैंडविच. बट लकीली क्या हुआ था कि उसने सिर्फ रसमलाई ख़राब की थी, सैंडविच और केक पे वो नहीं पहुंचा था. दैट मीन्स कि उसने सैंडविच और केक को अभी टच नहीं किया था, वो ठीक ठाक कंडीशन में था. If you tie up the dish a bit, no one need to know. You know, smoothen it out and put some more silver paper on top, maybe in a smaller dish. अब मीना क्या एडवाइस करती है अपनी मदर को कि अगर आप सारी चीज़ों को टाइड अप कर दी, मैं साफ़ कर देंगी और दूसरे डिशेस में सारी चीज़ों को रख देंगी तो किसी को कुछ भी नहीं पता चलेगा कि क्या हुआ है. और वो कहती है कि कुछ सिल्वर पेपर भी टॉप पे और लगाया जा सकता है और डिशेस जो हैं वो छोटे स्मॉलर डिश में सर्व की जा सकती हैं. इट वॉज़ नॉट अ सजेशन दैट वॉज़ वेलकम्ड. और ये सजेशन जो है बिल्कुल भी वेलकम नहीं था, दैट मीन्स ये अच्छा सजेशन नहीं था. एंड एनी वे wouldn't have worked because Bambi had trotted off into the veranda to get the visitor and let her know how delicious the rasmalai was. And this all thing cannot work. Why it cannot work? क्योंकि बाम्बी ने क्या किया कि वो टॉट ऑफ, दैट मीन्स टू वॉक स्लोली. तो वो क्या करते बाम्बी, आप क्योंकि उसने खाया, उसके फेस पे सारा कुछ लगा हुआ है और वो उसी के साथ धीरे धीरे चलते हुए बरामदा में पहुंच जाते हैं. और क्योंकि उसके फेस पे रसमलाई लगी हुई तो गेस्ट देख करके ऑब्वियसली ये पहचान जाएंगे कि वो रसमलाई खा के आ रही है. लकीली द लेडी वॉज वेरी फॉन्ड ऑफ डॉग्स हर सेल्फ एंड स्पॉइल्ड हर ओन डॉग वर्स देन आई डिड बाम्बी. और लकीली क्या होता है कि जो लेडी गेस्ट थी वो क्या थी, वो डॉग्स को बहुत ही पसंद करती थी, तो उन्होंने अपने डॉग को बहुत ही बर्बाद करके रखा हुआ था. स्पॉइल दैट मीन्स ख़राब करके, तो ख़राब इन सेंस कि मैनर्स नहीं सिखाए थे फैमिली में रहने के, और अपने डॉग को भी इसी तरह से इल मैनर्ड और वो करके रखा हुआ था, बाम्बी से भी ज़्यादा. एंड बाम्बी वॉज पार्डन इंस्टेंटली. और बाम्बी जो है, पार्डन दैट मीन्स टू रिपीट, तो वो ऐसा ही रिपीट करता था बार बार. Where we slipped up big time was by feeding Bambi at the table. She was, after all, our very first dog, and none of us, my parents included, could resist those pleading eyes gazing up at us like some half-starved waif as we ate. So, वर्स्ट थिंग उन्हें क्या फ़ील होती है कि बाम्बी को उन्होंने टेबल पे जो खाना खाना सबके साथ सिखाया था, वो उन्हें वर्स्ट चीज़ फ़ील होती है, उन्हें लगता. और वो क्या इसके लिए एक्सक्यूज़ देती हैं कि उनमें से कोई भी ऐसा कर नहीं सकता था कि वो खा रहे थे और बाम्बी देख रही थी तो उसको देखने देते, और उन्हें ऐसा लगता था कि वो भूखी है तो वो उसे खाने के लिए हमेशा कुछ ना कुछ ऑफ़र करते थे. Surely it could do no harm to give a little tidbit now and then, especially of more tidbit now and then, especially of the more unpalatable. So he said, the narrator is saying that they did not plated Bambi on the dining table. What they used to do, that they offered the tidbits, means a small part of food. They offered the small part of food to Bambi while they were eating. They do not provided Bambi the plated food. Okay, parts of your meal, how could you eat? With those eyes like limpid pools, Mala used to declare melodramatically, gazing at you like that and travelling from your plate to your hand to your mouth. In old days, people used to put aside some of food for their in their plates for birds and cows and surely dogs before they ate. So this was really no different. Something, of course, you were in a hurry, late for college or school, and what better and quicker way to dispose of rubbery toast. So now Mala says that it is like offering, as in the previous day it was a Indian culture to provide food to birds, cows and dogs. So she also compared this habit of feeding Bambi while eating was compared to the traditional habit of providing food to the animals. Okay students, hope you understood the story well. The remaining part of the story we will continue in the next video. If you have any doubt, you can ask me by calling me. Okay, thank you.